Okay, the second type of problem that gives students a lot of heartburn is the CapRate problem. CapRate problems are really not that difficult, but you just got to wrap your head around what they're talking about. Now, I've seen CapRate in a real estate exam called CapRate, but I've also seen it called rate of capitalization. I've also seen it called capitalizing an income. Okay, but most of the times the way you'll see it in an exam is they call it rate of return. You know, all of these are talking about cap rate. So whether it's cap rate, rate of capitalization, capitalizing an income, or rate of return, I left a cap, and rate of return. This is the one you're probably going to see most often on most of the real estate exams out there across the country. It has a formula. The formula is IRV, IRV. And what that means is income divided by rate equals value. Income divided by rate equals value. Income divided by rate equals value. Okay, so there's some tricks here. First of all, trick one, knowing what you're talking about and knowing which formula and how to use the formula. Trick two. Trick two is that these are always annual, 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 annual. Cap rates are always what? Click your finger. Annual. Now, if you forget during the exam, all you have to do is go like this. Someone across the room who saw this video will say annual. It's kind of a hypnotic technique there, so they'll help you out. But what are they going to give you? Well, if it's always annual, what they're going to give you, guys, is they're going to give you like quarterlies. If this is a year, they'll give you quarterly income. Or if this is a year, they'll give you semi-annual. Or they might give you monthlies. Okay, so they're never going to give you the number you need. They're going to give you quarterlies, semi-annual, or monthlies. And of course, you're going to make all those annual, annual, annual. Cap rates are always what? Annual. The next thing you have to know to do these problems, which is also a trick, is what kind of income are we talking about here? We are never, ever, ever talking about gross income. Never. It is always net operating income, also called NOI. Net operating income. So the income you need is income, quite simply, that is, and I'll give it to you monthly, you got to make it annual, and then you've got to turn it in, so you might be having an income of $125,000 or something, and then they're going to say, and the operating expenses for this were 25%, or they might give you the number, $25,000, and so that would mean that your net operating income was, NOI, was this number. Often on real estate tests, as I've told you before, that they will give you a number that you have to manipulate in order to get the real number you need to stick in the formula. If you stick this number in the formula, there'll probably be an answer that's there that mathematically it works, but it's the wrong answer because you use gross income and not what? Net income. Net income, and of course, it has to be annual. Okay. Now that you have the numbers you need, let me give you a real simple example. Okay? Let's say our income, and it's NOI, and it's annual, was $100,000, okay? The capitalization rate, or rate of return, their investors are demanding in this area, is, let's say, 8%. And 8%, as a decimal equivalent, would be 0.08. So what was the value of that property? Well, the formula tells you divide this one by that. You come up with a value of $1,250,000. Okay? It's just that simple. So the math itself is really arithmetic. If you understand the formula, you understand what they're talking about, you understand how to convert a percentage to a decimal equivalent, and you understand that income is always annual, and it's always net operating income. Those are the tricks involved with cap rate.